Hello. Here is a list chosen by Michael Hart from the book, The 100 Most Influential People in the World. People chose on the order who did the most to influence the world. As the author notes, the term influencer does not include a judgment on whether they have influenced the world for better or for worse. The most important and most influential person according to Michael Hart's list in the book, the most influential person in the world is the Prophet Muhammad.
Prophet Muhammad, 570 to 632, founder of Islam. Whilst in seclusion in a mountain cave, Muhammad reported receiving a series of revelations from God. These revelations form the verses of the Qu'ran, regarded by Muslims as the Word of God, and around which the Islamic religion is based. Muhammad was a significant religious, political and military leader who helped to unite Arabia under the new religion of Islam. Muhammad was born in 570 CE in the Arabian city of Mecca. Orphaned from an early age, he was brought up by his uncle Abu Talib. He worked as a merchant and shepherd and did not receive any formal education. Muhammad had spiritual inclinations and would spend time going to caves around Mount Hira to spend time in silence, prayer and retreat. He was also known for his generosity, devoutness and skill in arbitrating disputes.
In the year 610, at the age of 40, Muhammad was undertaking a retreat of prayer and meditation in the desert. During his prayer, he began hearing a luminous voice who commanded him to write down the word of God. At first, Muhammad was very uncertain about his experience, but after sharing with his first wife Khadijah and her cousin, he gained confidence that it was a divine voice, which he later revealed to be Angel Gabriel. For quite a few years, Muhammad only shared these recitations with his close companions who later served as scribes, writing down the revelations. He was aware that preaching a new monotheistic religious teaching may incur the wrath of the existing authorities. An important feature of the teachings of the Quran was that there was only one God, and the essential aspect of life was to submit to his will. First on the list, the most important sayings and quotes of the Prophet Muhammad. Whenever Allah wants good for him, he puts them to test. He puts them through difficulties, like a diamond or gold that has to be burnt, after which anything bad from it is removed so that what you have is the pure diamond or the pure gold. It is better to sit alone than in company with the bad, and it is better still to sit with the good than alone. It is better to speak to a seeker of knowledge than to remain silent, but silence is better than idle words. Be kind, for whenever kindness becomes part of something, it beautifies it. Whenever it is taken from something, it leaves it tarnished. 4. A father gives nothing better than good education. Feed the hungry and visit a sick person, and free the captive, if he be unjustly confined. Assist any person oppressed, whether Muslim or non-Muslim. Seek knowledge from cradle to the grave. Do not waste water even if you were at a running stream. A white has no superiority over a black, nor a black has any superiority over white except by piety and good actions. When a thing disturbs the peace of your heart, give it up. You do not do evil to those who do evil to you, but you deal with them with forgiveness and kindness. He is not a true believer who eats his fill while his neighbor is hungry. However much the faith of a man increases, his regard for women increases. What has reached you was never meant to miss you, and what has missed you was never meant to reach you. When you see a person who has been given more than you in money and beauty, look to those who have been given less. Make things easy for people and not difficult. Give people good news and bring them joy, and do not turn them away. Remember your own faults when you want to mention of others. Those who are patient in adversity and forgive wrongs are the doers of excellence. 18. Modesty brings nothing except good. 19. The most perfect man in his faith among the believers is the one whose behavior is most excellent, and the best of you are those who are the best to their wives. 20. Happy is the man who avoids hardship, but how fine is the man who is afflicted and shows endurance. 21. Speak the truth even if it's bitter. 22. The cure for ignorance is to question. Do not be people without minds of your own, saving that if others treat you well, you will treat them well, and that if they do wrong you will do wrong. Instead, accustom yourselves to do good if people do good and not to do wrong if they do evil. Visit the sick, feed the hungry, and free the captive. Do not waste water even if you were at a running stream. The strong man is not the good wrestler, the strong man is only the one who controls himself when he is angry. The most faithful of you are the best mannered. Seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave. Be careful because you are not better than people who are a different color, unless you are better in piety.
Forgive him who wrongs you. Reunite with him who cuts you off. Do good to him who does you harm and speak the truth although it may be to your disadvantage.
Whoever is kind, God will be kind to him. Therefore be kind to man on earth. He who is in heaven will then show mercy to you. God has revealed to me that you must be humble. No one should boast over another, and no one should oppress another. Understand that victory comes to the one who is patient. How wonderful is the situation of a believer! There is good for him in everything, and this applies only to a believer. If prosperity comes to him, he expresses gratitude to God, and that is good for him. And if adversity befalls him, he endures it patiently, and that is better for him. The best people are those who are the most useful to others.
If you guarantee me 6 things on your part, I shall guarantee you paradise. Speak the truth when you talk. Keep a promise when you make it. When you are trusted with something, fulfill your trust.
Happy are those who find fault with themselves, instead of finding fault with others. Do not tell me how educated you are. Tell me how much you have. A good deed done to an animal is as meritorious as a good deed done to a human being, while an act of cruelty to an animal is as bad as an act of cruelty to a human being.
A good friend and a bad friend are like a perfume seller and a blacksmith. The perfume seller might give you some perfume as a gift, or you might buy some from him, or at least you might smell its fragrance. As for the blacksmith, he might singe your clothes, and at the very least you will breathe in the fumes of the furnace.
Speak to people according to the development of their consciousness, for if you speak all things to all people, some cannot understand you and so fall into errors. Cool the flames of your anger by performing the wudu, for only water can extinguish fire.
If you do not feel ashamed of anything, then you can do whatever you like.
Love for one's country is part of faith.
Make the orphan come close to you, and be nice to him, and wipe his head,